How's it going, guys? It's me. So I am live right now because I'm home with my sick son. We had a bit of a thing in the middle of school today where his school, where I had to come home and get him. So what I wanted to do is he's not feeling well. He's napping right now. What it feels like is going to happen is I'm not going to be able to go live tonight. So I'm going live now with the intention this will record and then we'll go from there. Okay. So that's going to be the game plan. Let me get that mirror off of there because otherwise it's going to just make an infinite repeat. Let's do this. So what I want to do is go over the essay in particular. Now, we're grading the U.S. history regions back at the high school the last few days. And let me tell you. You all right, buddy? I think he's all right. He's trying to take a nap. Anyway, so I think the situation is such that I want to make sure we go over the essays because you guys need to do well on this essay, okay? Telling you now, there's a lot of kids as we're doing our grading. We're talking about it right now. Today and yesterday, like man, this kid's multiple choice result, it's not that great. How many points can they get here? How many points are going to be there? Are they going to pass? Like there's a lot of kids where we're like, I don't know. And that's the U.S. regions, which frankly, I'm going to say this honestly, is easier. It's an easier test. On top of the fact that the material's easier because it's not one country that you live in. That's what U.S. is. Global is not. It's every other thing but that. On top of that, there are more points available in the format of the U.S. exam that will give you more access to easier points. Here you got multiple choice and writing. That's all you've got. So I want to hammer in on the writing. Okay, I want you guys to watch this thing and say to yourself, I'm not going to get anything less than a 3. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to do what Malvagno told me, and that will guarantee I get at least a 3. If you do what I tell you, you'll get at least a 4. But quality matters, so let's not get crazy. But you can get a 3. So this is the task of your essay. This is always the task of the essay. This is the enduring issues essay. So once again, the idea is you have to come up with an enduring issue, meaning an issue that exists and has existed and still exists. All right, this is the idea. It doesn't have to look the same. It doesn't have to be the exact same issue, but it has to be an issue of this sort. Okay, now, you can't make an enduring issue up without reading the documents and seeing what will match. It's critical, okay? You can't just go in there and do it. You got to make sure it matches up. So let's take a long look at this, all right? So here's the way the task is structured. You're going to see this exact box. Pay careful attention to what I'm about to show you, okay? So if I get myself, I don't know, I guess I need a highlighter. What is this? Highlighter, cool. Let's get green just to make sure it shows up. Green highlighter. I don't know if it'll let me highlight anything I want to. It might only let me highlight other stuff. Yeah, okay, hold on. So we don't want that. We want a different tool. If I can't find the tool quickly, then we'll just go from there. Paint format, sure. Alright, I'm not going to waste any time on this. Basically, here's the bottom line. Alright. Everything above in your essay is like a general overview of what should be done. It's not the specifics. Okay? But let me sort of break it down. The first 2 bullets are the 2 task items. Okay? That's the first 2 bullets up here. Identify and explain an enduring issue. That's the first 2 bullets. That's all that is. That's all it's going to be. It's the first 2 bullets. That's the task items. So when we're asked to grade it, they're going to ask us, they're going to say in the grading, this essay has 2 tasks. The student must identify and explain the issue, raise in the documents, and then argue. They break that down into the more granular or more particular elements you see below. So this is the 2 big things. You must do them. This is how you do them. So in effect, you can ignore the top 2 bullets and just focus on everything that says in your essay, be sure to. So we're going to talk about these 4 bullets. For the intents of this particular essay, this top piece may not even exist. Might as well not even exist. In fact, can I insert something like a thing over it to get rid of it? I can do emojis. Let's not do that. That'll just go haywire for sure. Give me a shape. Give me a shape. Give me a shape. Give me a shape. Horizontal line will do. No horizontal lines today. All right, it doesn't want to mess with it because it's a clipped in image. All right, so basically, let's do it this way then. We'll do it a little bit easier. Okay. And there. That's the part of the essay I want you to care about. That's it. That's all. Oh, here's my line down there. Okay. So that's it. In your essay, be sure to, and then everything that follows that. So what do you actually have to do? Well, let me go ahead and get rid of this. Okay. Okay, bring this back up here. Okay. So, there are 4 bullets. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you see right there above you, let's go ahead and break each one down on what you have to do. You can kind of look at this as a format that would work for a paragraphing, so introduction, body. I'll show you that too. That'll be the next thing we do. But for now, start with this. Okay, number 1. Okay, this is the most important part. Pick an issue. You must create it. There is no list. Okay, I'm going to move this up a little bit, get my fat head out of the way. There is no list. They will not give you a list. There will not be suggestions. Nothing like that will come to you. You must simply pick an issue. How do you do that? You read the documents. There are 5 documents. There's going to be some really obvious thing about them that there's linking them all together. It could be environmental. It could be workers' rights. Who knows? It's impossible to tell. I don't guess, and I don't think anyone should listen to anybody who is guessing online or anywhere else. They're making it up. They're full of crap, and they don't know what they're talking about. If they happen to be right, whatever. Broken clocks are right twice a day. But just be prepared to read the documents and say, what is the unifying issue here? What is a thing that comes together? It's okay to be straightforward and direct. If the issue seems to be water pollution, it's water pollution. If the issue seems to be abuse of workers, it's abuse of workers. Like, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Now, as part of number 1, you're going to name the issue. And most importantly, you're going to define the issue. Okay? That's not how you spell define. Define the issue. Very important. Name it and define it. Only you can do that. There is no definition of conflict. There is no definition of human rights that is universal. You must pick a definition. Now, do not try to find some list online that has these things laid out, like a list of issues, and has definitions, and try to memorize that stuff. This is nonsense. It's what you think it means, okay? What do you think the word conflict means? What do you think the word human rights means? And take 5 minutes and come up with a solid idea for that, all right? Do not rush this. You should have plenty of time to write this essay, okay? Do not rush this. This is the most important part of the essay. A student does this part right is much more likely to get 3 or higher than a student who rushes this, screws it up, and then you're very likely to get a 1. Okay, because it becomes very difficult to justify anything above a 1 if you don't have even an issue and you have not defined it. So do not let yourself screw this part up, okay? All right, what happens after I've done that? Next, there's a C portion to this issue thing. The next thing is to select 3 documents. You're going to read all 5. You're going to discard 2. The other 3 are going to become the core basis of your essay. So make sure you pick them, you understand them. Don't pick them because they're short. Don't pick them because they look like a thing, like a visual or a picture or something. Pick them because if I asked you, pass or fail, explain this document. If the whole test was 1 grade and I said pass or fail, explain this document, better be something you can explain. Do not let it be, I don't know, I think it means this, I'm not really sure if I understand, I kind of remember that name or that word. No, if you do not understand the document, you do not pick it. Got it? And don't be lured in by maps and visuals. They're often the hardest to understand because they don't actually tell you anything. It's a dang picture. So there's less information there for you and more you have to provide. So, select 3 documents of the 5, and those are going to be the core of your essay. The other 2, discard. We're not using them for anything. Do not attempt to use them. What happens then? What happens then is then each document will become the basis of a body paragraph. I'm going to explain this in more detail in a moment, but basically you're going to take your first document, your second document, and your third document, and each one's going to become the basis of a body paragraph. When it's all said and done, you're going to write yourself a conclusion, and that will be the fullness of your paper. Now, let me show you what this looks like in actual breaking down terms and what the points are that you're going to get. Okay, introduction. In your intro, first job, okay, name the issue, and then second, and this is sentence by sentence, okay? So if you want, let me do it this way. Okay, let's do it this way. Sentence 1, name the issue, okay? An enduring issue that has persisted throughout time is clip, and then you put in whatever the issue is based on those documents. Sentence 2. Now I'm going to make this a little easier. Just put sent to, okay, because I don't keep writing sentence. All right, stick with me on this. If you can't follow that, tomorrow's going to be a real bad day for you. So we're sentence 1, this is sentence 2. Sentence 2 is going to be define the issue, okay? Sentence 3, this is all in the introduction. List your documents, your documents, chosen documents, by their authors or titles. Again, I'll move my fat head. So, authors or titles. Don't put documents 1, 2, and 3 show this issue. Don't do that. Document 1, or you could, I would do it this way. The article written by Mr. Malvagno, the map of Africa, that appeared in National Geographic, and the diary entry by Miss Gianfala are all documents that demonstrate this issue. That's it. That's what sentence 3 is going to be. Okay? So you can even use that kind of a template format, and we're going to come back and do a little bit of a template in a minute. We're just setting it up right now. Okay, so that's your intro. Intro's done. This is you identifying the issue, putting it out there, and linking it to some documents. Next piece, okay, body 1. Body 1 is going to be, you take sentence 1. Using a document, okay, so this is going to be based on one of your chosen documents. This, the whole paragraph is going to be based on, okay? So, based on the chosen document, you say something like this. The issue of whatever is shown in document X, which now you put the number in, okay? So we'll do it this way. Document number, or whatever number it is, okay? That could be your first sentence if you want. It's not the strongest sentence. If you want to do a little bit better, you could say it's something that which is talk about the document type, a letter, an article, a picture, a map, written by author. Okay, and it doesn't be exactly like this, but this is just something that you could put in there. Okay. Now, the next sentence. The next sentence will be you describing what the document is. So this is probably sentence 2, and where's my end thing? And 3. Now, describe the main idea of the document. In other words, take 2 sentences and summarize the document. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. That was a phone call about my sick kid I had to take. I apologize. Okay. All right. So, right back to where we were. I'm sorry. This is a little bit herky jerky, but it is what it is. All right. So, sorry. We're on sentence 2 and 3 of the body. Describe the main idea in the document. In other words, take 2 sentences and summarize the document using your own words. Okay. Again, I'll move this page down a little bit so we can see it better. Okay. So, if you can, if possible, all right, if possible, try not to simply copy the document, okay? Try. Using your own words is always a higher level of working. Now, pay attention to what I explained to you here. This matters. Once you are done with this summary, sorry, I'm just doing that to get some space when I get my head out of the way. Moving my head on the screen is actually kind of hard because I have a border attached to it, and it's a pain in the butt to move the border. All right, once you're done with this summary, you should make sure you put the document number in quotations, okay? So, for example, not quotations, parentheses. So, for example, document. So, for example, you write your paragraph and you put doc 1 or document 1. That is appropriate and is necessary. Do that. Now, I want you to see something, okay? Look at how much I wrote here for 1 sentence or 2 sentences. This is important. You need to describe the documents. You need to. At a baseline, you need to. Okay? And I'm suggesting 2 sentences because most documents are going to be kind of lengthy. So give us a good sort of go. Explain to us this stuff. Now, the important piece, here we go. Okay? This is where it starts to get quality differences. There's a quality difference here. All right? So, a note on quality. Just describing the document is not as good as explaining why your document, why the document links to your issue. Okay? If you can describe that linkage, that will be a much better thing. Okay. Sorry. All right. So it's a much better thing if you could describe or explain why the document links to your issue. So here is a picture of Joseph Stalin, and the issue is human rights, and Joseph Stalin is smiling and happy and holding a baby. You could say this is linked to the idea of human rights because Joseph Stalin would use propaganda images like this to make himself look like a nice man despite the fact he ruled a malicious government. That would be an example of linking it to your argument, linking it to your issue that you selected. Okay. Now that's document 1 and 2. Sentence 1 and 2. Now and 3. Now sentence 4 of the body paragraph is the argument. How do you do that? Well, let's go back to the top and let's have us a look at the task. See this argue bullet? Right there. Argue that this is a significant issue that is endured by showing how the issue has affected people or has been affected by people, how the issue has continued to be an issue or has changed over time. Okay? So you really need to do both of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the job up. You're going to take the first dash and put this in the first paragraph of the body. We're going to take the second dash and put this in the second paragraph of the body. And then I'll let you go back and choose another one, choose to do one of these again for the third body paragraph. Okay, so 1 per body paragraph. So I would say that let's start with, okay, this sentence is an argument sentence. What do you do with that? Well, you in this case, tell us how this issue has affected people or has been affected by people. Now listen, I want you to actually say this issue has affected people by boom. This issue has been affected by people because boom. Like actually use the words from the prompt. That's a good thing. It helps us as graders clearly see what you intend to say and when you intend to say it. There's nothing wrong with being formulaic. It is perfectly fine. Now, that's really only a sentence you probably need for that. Now, the more detail you give, the higher the grade bar can go. You know, like if you want to get a 5, that 1 sentence is not going to do you. But I'm trying to give you like a minimum 3 level here, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. And if you did everything, you might even justify a 4 level, okay? Now, sentence 5 should be outside information you know. This could be either add more information to a document or give us information not in the document. So in other words, if you have a document that has like some stuff that you know, but you know more stuff than the document says, feel free to provide that additional information. It's perfectly okay. It's a good way of doing it, all right? So definitely consider doing that. All right, you're going to repeat this body thing for body paragraph 2. So for body paragraph 2, I'm going to go up and copy this, okay? Then we're going to go down here, just like this, do that, and change this to body paragraph 2. Same exact thing, so feel free to go back. The change, though, is going to come in the sentence 4 argument phase. So in this argument sentence, okay, what you're going to do here is instead of doing how it has affected people, you're going to tell us, explain how this issue has changed over time or how it has stayed the same over time. I'm going to change to say the same thing. I don't want you to say that. How it has resisted change over time. Don't say stayed the same. That's dumb. All right, or continue to be an issue. No. Why is it resisted change? Everything changes in history. The few things that don't, there's something going on there that they continue to perpetuate what's going on. So, therefore, how do they resist change is a critical piece here, okay? So, and then again, back to the outside information you know. Then, for body paragraph number 3, okay? Body paragraph number 3. I got news for you. You're going to do the same dang thing. All right? This is going to be the third document now. You're going to do all this stuff the same, and for the argument sentence over here, sorry, I'm like looking at the wrong camera while I am trying to do this. For the argument sentence over here for sentence 4, what I want you to do is I want you to go in there, and I want you to choose the same task as what we did in sentence 4 of the past 2. Sentence 4 of the past. What am I doing here? I'm spelling everything wrong. Looking at the wrong camera. There we go. Okay, what we did in sentence 4 of the past 2 paragraphs. Like, you could choose. Do you want to do another, how does this affect the people, or do you want to do another, how people have affected it? And then finally, conclusion. All you do in the conclusion, conclude. Meaning, the basic core idea of a conclusion is to summarize your entire entire intro paragraph into a 1-sentence summary. And I'm going to say 1 or 2-sentence summary. That's it. Now, if you do all of that at the levels I'm describing, you will get a 4. If you do all of that at minimal levels, you will get a 3. It's not possible to fall below a 3 if you do what I just told you. You'll be fine. All right? So, I'm sorry to make this short. I'm sorry to cut it a little bit, but I got a sick kid in there. I got people trying to contact me about it. I got a lot going on. But this is what you got to do for tomorrow. Get this essay right. Start thinking about it, practicing it, etc. Okay? All right. So, we're going to stop it there. Thanks a lot, gang. Sorry again for the lack of a live on this one, but the format probably wouldn't have been quite so clean anyway because it is about skills, really. All right, so have a good one. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow at the test.